Next, yay! The next two books are good. I mean, Hiro Loves Kite is it's okay. It's not as cute as Nora and Kettle, but I might also be biased because I apologize for the light. I have adjusted my angle because I was laying down. But anyway, um, it's certainly not as cute as Nora Loves Kettle, but I didn't. I think it's because I know what I wanted a sequel to that book to be, and this was kind of it, but in I guess there were less fireworks than I was hoping for. I don't know. Um, Hero Loves Kite is another Paper Stars novel by Lauren Nicole Taylor. It came out in 2018. It's YA and historical fiction. Side note: there is another Paper Stars novel. I don't really want to read it. The only reason I read this one is because I'm invested in Hero and Kite. Um, Remember that Kite is Nora. Kite is her street name. She's a white girl in the 1950s who ran away from her abusive father. And Hiro is Kettle, a Japanese American orphan, and this book takes place right after World War II, which is why Hiro is a orphan. I'm gonna try really hard to keep saying Hiro and not say hero because those are two different words. Um, so at the end of the last book, Nora took a picture of her dad Christopher beating up Kettle, which Christopher is a lawyer for Japanese Americans. So if that got into the papers, that would be bad. Um, yeah, and Nora wanted to know where he sent her little sister Frankie, and if she's not there, Nora's going to release the photograph. She was there, which is I think I thought this whole book was going to be them trying to find her and also outing Christopher, but whatever. She Frankie was where he said she was, and he sent her there, I guess, because something about Frankie almost drowning, so she doesn't like the water, but it amounts to nothing. Also remember that Frankie is deaf in one ear because of a beating that Christopher gave her that was too bad. I should probably put a trigger warning on this video. I'm gonna do that. Um, so they get Frankie and they protect her. Frankie's street name is Cricket with a K. K's are their whole thing, in case you don't remember, because the Kings, and King starts with a K, and yeah. Um, Kettle and Nora clearly like each other, but they don't want to act on it because, Nora's a rich white lady, and also they're not entirely sure what's going to happen after Nora turns 18 and she has access to her whole inheritance thing that her mother left for her. Mom's dead, by the way. Um, Kettle wants to protect Nora, and he wants to protect the orphans that he has, and he wants to be self-sufficient, but also he's an orphan. He's also Japanese American living in the 1950s. Not an easy feat. Kettle also likes it when Nora calls him Hiro, that's cute. I love them so much. Only Frankie calls Nora by her name. Everyone else calls her Kite. So they go and visit Kettle's brother, and he keeps calling Nora his future wife, and I'm not sure if he's calling Nora Hiro's future wife or his own future wife. I have no clue. It's very cringy. Frankie also can't go outside their hideout because she's a minor, so if a cop sees her, they're going to take her back to Christopher, which is a problem for Nora, and Frankie absolutely hates it because she's like 6, so she wants to be up and around and move, but she can't go outside. They need permanent residence, and Nora needs a job, and Christopher sees them outside, and he threatens them, but Nora still has the picture, which I think we kind of forget that over this entire story. I don't know if they end up using the picture. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think Nora ever outs her father as actually hating Japanese Americans. Huh. But, snow comes and the Kings lose a child. It's very sad. Nora and Kettle have a date, and, Christopher underestimates Nora, and Nora underestimates Frankie. Christopher gets arrested for nearly beating Nora to death. There's a whole bunch of chapters where Nora's in the hospital. They get the housemaid. There was a housemaid at the beginning of Nora and Kettle. She kind of amounts to nothing in that book, so I didn't mention her, and I do not remember her name. But they get the housemaid to testify against him because they knew what was happening. Hiro finds her in the hospital and brings Frankie to her, and they all go back to the brownstone that they used to live in. Nora makes her home an orphanage, which she 18, and I know it's the 1950s, but girl, oh man, that's gonna be a lot. Frankie wants her dad to stay in jail, and she convinces him to plead guilty so that everything will just stop. I don't know why Christopher decided that now he's going to listen to his youngest child, but whatever. Hiro goes to jail for something for like 2 seconds. I don't know what it was. Some of the kids, though, don't think that Christopher being in jail is going to make everything better, and that, like, living in an orphanage is going to make everything better. Because some of them came from an orphanage, but, you know, again, they're Japanese American living in the 1950s. There are some people alive today who still don't like Japanese Americans because of what Japanese people did, and Japanese Americans had nothing to do. I'm not even going to get into that. But yeah, so Frankie, like, at the end does like a cute little ceremony for her sister and Kettle, and like marries them, and it's the cutest fucking thing ever. Yeah, Nora never ends up using the picture. That's bullshit. Nora actually spends a lot of this book in the hospital. Like, that's kind of annoying. I don't know what I wanted this book to be, though, because I still like it, and it's still cute. And, where is that book on the list? It is Nora and Kettle is somewhere. Where the hell? There's a lot of things on the list. Oh, wow. Hiro Loves Kite is actually towards the bottom of the Would Read Again list, but that's because of everything else on the list. We still haven't got into the sequel to The Root. Oh boy, this quarantine has all types of fucked up my schedule with that book. We'll talk about it later. This book is less cute than the first one. It's also more boring than the first one, but like, it's not super romantic, which I think I wanted more of that. But then again, the realities of living on the street, they do lose a child over the winter, so there are also a lot more important characters in this one. Also, and this I put this point because it's the 1950s. Frankie convinced her father to stay in jail, but we just gonna act like they never said how long he's gonna be in jail for. Like, I don't think that Nora has the rights to that house, because if she's 18 and she left, that's still Christopher's house. But whatever. Nora doesn't beat her sister, so who cares? Even if he tried to get custody of Frankie after he gets out of jail, you want to talk to the court about why Frankie can't hear in one ear? But whatever. I was gonna do another book, but since this video is nearly 10 minutes, I'm just gonna leave it be. Yay.